Preparing the live stream. That means it's working.
Excellent.
That's excellent. Hey, we both said excellent at the same time, although there's probably seconds apart because of the internet.
Yeah.
Cool, we got a live stream.
All
Talk to us about the Brooks Bandits there, Brandon Hauk.
Oh, Brooks
Before we
back.
get started, let's share this around.
They're playing the Drayton Valley Thunder tonight. So there's a little weather tied into the hockey game tonight.
Oh, the Thunder.
The Thunder, which is perfect, I guess. So yeah, they've lost two. They've won one earlier this week, so it's a little slow start to the season, but I think they'll get their new players and stuff, new team this year. So it's a lot of the team moved on into university there. So it's going to be we'll have to see if they're going to go all the way this year. Maybe. You never know.
Well, how much do you have for return players after winning the cup last year, the championship?
Oh, we got, let's say, at least half the return players, but the really good players that like to score and put up all the points and everything last year, they're gone. So the other players have to step up. So that's the thing. But they're doing pretty good, I have to say. We only lost 2 games this season so far, so not too bad. We're starting to get pretty good here.
Turn my camera on.
Putting the link around everyone now.
All right.
And, trying to get
All right.
viewers onto the show. So
Oh
welcome
my
to the
God,
pre-record.
viewers.
Hey, Imogen.
Forgot about them. Hey.
I'm not looking at the screen right now because I'm sharing the link to the friggin' show. So suddenly you're there, and that's great because it was like forever. It was just like Imogen with the thing circling around.
What?
It said you were there, but connecting to audio for like.
Oh yeah. I had my other camera running, so Zoom wouldn't usurp the line and take over and hijack my damn camera.
Don't hijack that camera.
Yeah.
It's gonna be an exciting show. It's been so long since everyone's been together.
Everyone's really fucking pent up right now.
Oh yeah, well Frankie's just gone through a hurricane. I just went through a fire season.
Yeah.
Brandon's just gone through being a weird chicken.
Yep.
Dressed up as a, what was that all about? Being dressed up as a chicken for?
Big with my, it's still going on for weeks.
You were breaking up there.
Oh, big promotion with Montez.
Hey, Brandon.
Hey, how's it going? Hold on.
Good. We'll go after the song.
Okay.
Brandon's at work producing Brooks Bandits hockey game right now.
Oh.
Yeah. We're going after the song.
So he's on a live stream, which will become a radio show on 2 channels, and he's on his own radio station there. He's like how many radio stations? If he had another hand, he'd be on another station at the same time.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Okay, so Joey, you posted in the group. Here's the link, share it around, but you didn't post the damn link.
I didn't.
No, you didn't, Joey. What the hell?
Hey, don't be so mad at me. I mean, well.
I know.
I'm a good guy.
Hey, there's a link.
Bad things don't happen.
No, they don't. Nothing happens. Every day is the same. Every day is the same.
Okay, I'm almost ready to like focus
On what?
on the show.
Okay.
Well, it's like I have to
mean,
do
if
all
you
these
gotta.
things to get the show happening. People are asking me for links, and I'm like posting the live stream, and trying to type. And
Trying to
But
type with
now-
one hand.
now we're
Yeah.
officially
Coffee,
going.
Augie. I mean, guy.
Posted to Twitter, posted everywhere, posted this ways and that ways. Still no one's watching, so we haven't really lost any time. Tell me about your last month, Imogen.
I don't remember most of it. Yeah, I don't know. It's
Thunder live on.
I'm always doing stuff. 1 second here. Live streaming now. Cha cha cha. Man, let's
And how
post
about
that
you,
link.
Brandon? Your last crazy month?
Bandits look to make it back-to-back
Oh.
wins and
What's that?
showcase with
Your last crazy month. Do you have time to talk about it?
Might have a second here. Okay. Crazy butt. So I ripped my fingernail off my hand. So that was crazy.
Oh,
Why would you do that?
With a bike chain.
I got that. Why did they make you take your pants off?
Oh, I had shorts on. It was like 30 degrees out.
They were playing doctor with you, and you were a very good little patient, and they gave you a lollipop.
Yeah.
Don't ruin it for me.
that's terrible news. You ripped your toenail and your clothes off.
Um,
Or
Totally
your
what
finger,
happened.
sorry. Your
that's
fingernail.
why I have this on. But I'm taking stitches out tomorrow, so.
You still have them?
I had to put new ones.
Why? Oh, new ones. How the fuck did they
Good thing you
change
didn't-
stitches?
Good thing you didn't have any ring on that finger.
That's
Yeah, I'm
right.
baffled. Like, okay, they changed your stitches. Did I hear that right?
Yeah. So I had an infection, so they had to do a little surgery, put another stitch in, just one. So I have to take it out tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay, so I had surgery on my chest. They literally like peeled and flayed like a fucking autopsy, like just ripped everything open, skinned from the rib cage up, pulled it all apart, stitches everywhere, swelling, like it went slightly necrotic, stuff started going bad. I had to do like I almost lost like my entire like all the good stuff. The only reason anyone bloody well talks to me, almost lost it all. During
Nonsense.
section, and they did not change my stitches. So what were you doing? How many old dudes at the bus station were you touching to warrant the kind of infection that requires a stitch change?
Well, to be fair, fingers get infected very easily.
Okay, the amount of attention that I put on the aftercare of surgery here, there was a lot of touching going on, a lot of hand washing and a lot of touching. I'm just saying.
So fingers are like, they're involved in everything you do, right? It's like, it's impossible.
True.
You
They
know,
definitely
fingers
go up
get
a lot
dirty.
more noses.
And it's like, well, where's the dirtiest part on your body? Under the fingernail. Well, now you got no fingernail. It's just pure dirt attacking it.
Good point. Good point. If something is gonna go necrotic, it's gonna be Brandon's filthy little fingers.
Oh, yeah.
The good thing it was your left hand.
Yeah. Not my button pressing hand.
Yeah, I always try to injure my right hand. That way I can still draw and write.
Ah, yeah, I'd be lost without my left hand.
Are you left-handed too?
Of course, with just my left hand, I might as well be married. So, date night is right hand.
And then John Brown to be the head coach of the Thunder, and you wonder how is this going to affect?
Not only am I
Yes, Count
left-handed,
Chocula rides again.
not only am I left-handed, so are both of my children. Both. And I didn't try. This is the pre-record for the Comedeoro-logical report, everybody. I haven't really introduced anything yet. I don't know how many people are watching, but I'll keep my eye on the YouTube chat here. Oh, Jason Banger, Count Chocula rides again, he says. 5 watching already. Got lots of thumbs up. Hey, right on. Share the stream. Tell people, I could really use a thumbs up right now, personally. I just had an awesome fire season. I get back, I thought I had a cool video job going on, and it just fell apart, and now I don't really have. I'm waiting for checks to come in the mail. I got $50. I got child support due. I got a truck in the shop. I don't even have wheels right now. It's like I'm actually, after having a really awesome fire season, kicking ass as a crew boss, feeling bummed out, So things just, that's the ebb and flow of life. And I'm glad
Hey,
we can
Dad,
finally
how's
get
it
back
going?
to making shows. That's where we're at. At 7 o'clock, we'll start recording the show, and I'm sure
Hey,
Frankie will be
I'm
here.
live
promptly
streaming
on-
right now, so I shouldn't be on the phone.
Yeah, we're live streaming right now.
Can I call you later? Hi, I gotta call you later. Bye. I love you, and you're super gay. Bye. I kept it clean for streaming. That's my best friend in all the world. Most conversations end with, and P.S. you're fat. The punchline, of course, being that he's lost a lot of weight. So I like making fat jokes because of all the weight he's lost.
Tuesday's game against the
Okay.
lineup tonight.
I don't like making fat jokes because I'm perfect.
I like making fat jokes because I'm a piece of shit.
I only have good thoughts always, and I'm very positive.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, I've
me.
seen the messages you send me. You're not a choir boy.
What messages?
Galley put some points up.
Look, I get it. A long time in the bush, surrounded by nothing but dudes. I look like a viable option. I'm passable in the dark. So,
No, you don't look like a viable option. You just look awesome.
A good
don't ruin it.
support for him. Really.
Don't be
You would-
distracted by my back hair.
I would never give up my mountain life.
Damn right you wouldn't.
Malinowski.
You have the coolest neighbors. I mean, like, you got to like yell at a bear a while ago and like punch a wolf or some shit.
We had
Punch
a
a bear,
grizzly
yell at a
bear.
wolf.
We had a grizzly bear in town here in Wells while I was gone fighting fire. And I guess like if you saw the community board in Wells, because you have the Facebook community board, and if you had if you look at the Quesnel Facebook community board and a black bear wanders into a neighborhood, the posts are like, "There's a black bear by so and so's house. Keep your dogs inside," and it's like it's a big friggin' deal, right? And now here we got a grizzly bear wandering right through town, and there's like a video someone posts of them like shouting at it, banging pots and pans, like, "Well, I tried to move the grizzly bear along, but it didn't seem really intimidated." Yeah, like, and then the next post is like, "Well, I drove around and honked the horn at it, and it kind of sauntered off through the school ground. Everyone just heads up." It's a grizzly bear, right? In a small
Sauntered
town.
off to eat your children.
Yeah, nobody's that
Eat the poplars.
concerned, really. They're just sort of like keeping a tabs on where it's going.
There he goes.
But I don't think there's any recorded incidents of a grizzly bear attacking children.
We're live in Blackwell.
That's very disappointing. I mean, like when I was a kid, I spent some time in Port Hardy, and it was like the Friday night thing to do is that everyone would drive up to the garbage dump and just watch the bears. And there was always like, they never attacked anyone, but it was always kind of fun to like imagine like,
and
one of the things that we do as kids would we try and shove each other towards the bears, hoping that the other kid would get eaten. When your kid's in a small town watching bears roam around a garbage dump and kick over old furniture and shit and like whip old cans at each other.
You don't have to be faster than the bear, just your friends.
Yeah, you got to be faster than your little brother.
Especially.
And as the slow kid, I was usually bear bait.
Hello, Joanne McCallum. Got some people already watching the live stream, so we're getting ready for when Frankie shows up, probably in 8 minutes' time. The dude's been through a hurricane. First thing in the morning, he's like, "Is there a show tonight?" Yes, let's finally do it.
Yes,
been gone for so many weeks, and my obvious absence is because I'm a crew boss of a firefighting outfit, so it's really hard to make shows. I found last year impossible to do it and function. It just takes too much energy to and to have to commit to being ready at 7 o'clock for video. If I have internet wherever I am, that's good enough for it.
Awesome.
So I'm back. Been a few weeks off, and I'm stoked.
Oh,
Brandon, what did you do? You monster.
play.
What?
Down. The hell?
Why are you swearing at your computer? It loves you, Brandon. It's been your girlfriend for a long time. Don't talk to her that way.
I want to see this.
Okay, we got play. Play now. Go, go, go.
Something in Brandon's life is exciting. We don't know what it is, but he's got a little bit more red than usual.
Play. Damn it. There.
Suddenly Brandon's animated. It's like someone gave him an Oreo.
Was there a goal?
No, the audio didn't play.
That's what it was. It was a technical difficulty. You got that excited over a technical difficulty?
Yeah.
God, I love you.
Radio
It's official.
station,
Brand's my favorite spinner.
live hockey broadcast, radio station, behind the scenes. You get it all here on our show. This is how awesome is that, eh?
Hopefully that's all for the technical difficulties tonight.
What?
There was words that come out of my mouth when something bad happens.
You get all excited and giggly.
Especially last yeah. The audio wasn't going through on the radio. Yeah, I had to make a couple of phone calls.
Gasp.
So too bad I didn't have the Brooks Hotel commercial on with the Afro Man in here.
What?
Yeah, we have Afro Man coming to Brooks this month.
You have Afro Man coming?
Yeah.
Damn, that's awesome.
On play commercial here, and then I start singing it. Yeah.
Dude, straight up Palmdale.
But
That guy came up his name came up in conversation at work like yesterday because I was playing Afro Man. Yeah.
Commercials on. Hold on, let me find it here. Let's see if I can put it on. Just for fun.
Oh no, don't play commercials for us, you dick.
Brandon Hauk with the Brooks Bandits broadcast. How cool is that?
Brandon Hauk playing commercials like a dick.
Well, most people have never seen what goes on in a radio station, so they get to see
the guy at a desk.
There.
Didn't we have last time Trey Campbell was on? He was producing like a Houston Astros baseball game.
Yeah, I appreciate the novelty of Trey being quite liberal in his views on things, working for a conservative radio station. The novelty is divine.
Yeah, then he had to.
With his work.
Then he had to produce Sean Hannity.
That's awesome. I just think political radio is entertaining. It's always so insane. Is someone like screaming about how amazing their guy is and everyone else is garbage, but like really show me a politician that doesn't suck out loud. Like you're kind of hard to find one. So this is a novelty. Someone being so in favor of one guy or one team.
That's not political radio. It's just brainwashing nonsense.
That's what it all is.
4 minutes till showtime. I'm sure Frankie will show up like he always does.
Nowhere.
Immediately on time. It'll be like 7:01 and he'll be in a panic wherever he is because he's never 7:01. It's always 6:59:55.
Oh.
Frankie comes smashing through the wall like the Kool-Aid man.
He's good for that.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. He just comes barging in, screaming a weather report, like scattershot weather from around the world. I'll ask him something idiotic about sharks or raining frogs or whatever.
What's going on there, Brandon?
Well, this audio decided to play, so that's good. We're doing good. Broadcast is going smoothly. Had a little Afro Man, so soothe the soul here, a little da-da-da-da.
How can you manage producing a hockey broadcast? How do you manage producing a hockey broadcast and being on our show with just one hand?
Magic, I tell you.
He's good with that one hand.
One hand.
He lost his finger, everybody. He cut his finger off.
I didn't know.
Bike chain.
His fingernail, whatever. His bike chain took his fingernail off. Whatever. It sucks, whatever it is. I wouldn't want it.
Brandon, can you, in good conscience, refer to yourself as an amputee now?
No. Just fingerless.
Just fingerless?
Fingernail, yeah.
So you just had a really angry manicure.
Pretty much, yeah.
Good job. I like the amputee title better. It's way sexier.
There's about that much nail on there. Liver.
I wish I could have seen it.
It wasn't pretty, though.
And that's the biggest thing. I mean,
I've done a lot of first aid.
2 minutes to the first period.
Brandon's
2
weirdly
minutes.
animated tonight. Does anyone
2
know
minutes till
Gabriel's-
Frankie. 2 minutes till Frankie and the show starts, until I start recording. 2 minutes to the first period of the Brooks Bandits broadcast.
Right.
minutes to midnight if you're an Iron Maiden fan.
not trying to play as
Well, if you're in
everyone and
time zone no one lives in, yeah,
that's what I want to see.
it's like 11:30 in Newfoundland.
The fact that
Right.
great
Is that where Gabriel is or
great
no?
offense. we just,
I haven't seen that Amish looking kid in a while.
Awesome. Sean, thanks for doing this. Best of luck this year. Okay, thank you.
He's in Toronto, yes.
63 was it.
Bitch.
Cannot thank the community enough for all your support. Thank you for your donations and baking, for the time dedicated by
Look at Brandon go.
All right.
Brandon's multitasking, being in front of 2 cameras at once.
Stay tuned to the
Talking to 5 people at the same time. Yeah.
Coming this October. Again, thank you for this. And of your local.
Damn it, I just got a terror. Okay, just like my phone pings a lot. It only makes like 2 different sounds or 3 different sounds. And it's been pinging a lot with like 9 different chat threads going on. And one of them was just bad news that I don't get to go for a flight tomorrow. I was going to just go buzz around the island, like hop in a Cessna and fly around and whatnot tomorrow morning. And son of a bitch, it's not going to happen. I am saddened by this news that I do not have access to the plane that I wanted to fly around in.
That does suck.
Moment of silence for my
7 o'clock.
dreams.
It's 7 o'clock, so there's our warning to be radio friendly with our cussing.
Ah,
Yes.
Like as of now, or we got 30 seconds?
Well, I'm going to hit record in a second, and then I'm going to start the intro.
Before you start recording, Brandon, suck my dick.
And Frankie's going to be on here, I'm sure, any minute, so I might as well.
There's no reason to say foul things to Brandon other than it's just so
No,
wildly inappropriate.
There's people watching right now, Imogen.
I know, but I feel like I would be doing a disservice to not say something horribly inappropriate to the most undeserving person. And in this case, Brandon is the most undeserving person of any foul language, anything negative.
Terrible. Okay, I'm going to start the show. I'm going to probably mute Brandon for a minute because he's going to be busy with radio. Frankie, I'm sure will be here in a second, so report to the cloud. All right, let's start. Good morning, Prince George, and good afternoon, Winnipeg. This is the Comedeoro-logical report. Comedy plus meteorology equals cometeorology. I haven't said that in a while. Yeah, it felt good. It's your show about how much the weather sucks in Canada, and I am your host, Joey Only, here in Wells, British Columbia. Special shout out to all you meteorology students at the University of Winnipeg. It's because of you that people are going to know about the weather someday. So you're very special, and this show is partly for you. I hope you enjoy it, and it's definitely the first episode in a while because I've been busy. I don't just talk about the weather. I do something about it too. I've been fighting forest fires in British Columbia. I'm a crew boss of a wildfire outfit, and so I've got lots of stories to talk about if anyone cares to ask me. But we have already a bunch of our longtime regulars showing up, which includes, of course, always Frankie McDonald. Right now, he just went through a hurricane in Nova Scotia last weekend. So Hurricane Frankie, he's going to be on here momentarily. Brandon Houck from Brooks, Alberta. He's a producer of radio in that small city. And right now he's producing a Brooks Bandits hockey game. So it's really interesting to have him sort of sitting there in the studio. Right now he's like, the first period's about to start. He's doing it. He's Brandon Houck. And then Imogen Cookie Bailey, she's down in Victoria. It's been over a month since we've had a show. It's been a long time. And I'm back. I'm ready. I'm physically able. And as soon as Frankie McDonald's here, we're going to have him on. But welcome to the show, everyone. You're tuned into 88.7 FM CFUR in Prince George every Saturday morning, 10 a.m. and noon on 95.9 in Winnipeg. So that's your station identifications, CKUW. Welcome once again. And Frankie McDonald, the weatherman himself, he's just connecting to audio. He's right now probably outside in Sydney, Nova Scotia. He is. Frankie McDonald, welcome to the show. We're already recording. You've just had a hurricane. I haven't talked to you in a month. So good to see you. How you doing so far?
I'm doing great so far. You're fighting for the whole month. It was so busy because of very busy fire season. It was warmer than average temperatures in British Columbia. But British Columbia's going to get a lot of atmospheric river soon. Last year, Abbotsford got no power because so much flooding in atmospheric river, so much rain in Abbotsford in those places.
So
What?
tell us about the hurricane, Frankie.
It
We
was
want to
so
know,
bad.
like, tell us all
Hurricane
about it.
Fiona, Hurricane Fiona struck Sydney, Nova Scotia, did a lot of damage. Damage, powers knocked out everywhere. And on Saturday, and there's those very, very, very slowly. It's going to be long haul extended power outages in my area. It's going to be a prolonged power outage. This is once in a lifetime event. It's climate change. It's going to get storms like this more than lots of times because of climate change happening around the world.
It won't be once in a lifetime. How much rain fell?
Over 50 to 100 millimeters of rain. And I got something else to say. Power's out in my house since Saturday, Friday overnight and Saturday morning. So ultra bad. It was so bad, caused a lot of damage and things like this. Aaron J. Jack met me in person the day before the storm hit Sydney, Nova Scotia. Aaron J. Jack, extreme meteorologist and storm chaser. He followed you on Facebook.
He's an extreme storm chaser? Did I hear that right?
Yes, he is.
That's kind of cool.
How high?
What's classified as an extreme storm? How bad does it have to be?
Extreme storm chaser. That means he can chase tornadoes, hurricanes, things like this. He met me in person on Friday last week before Fiona hit Sydney, Nova Scotia. Fiona was mighty bad, did so much damage. It's going to be prolonged power outages and things like this. Trees are down, telephone poles snapped in half. It was so bad. Vancouver's well overdue for a magnitude 10 earthquake.
Vancouver
How,
sucks. So, I mean, it could do with a pretty hefty earthquake, at least just to, reset a few areas. That doesn't mitigate the fact that Wolfman loves you, but Vancouver is overdue for an earthquake.
How many houses were destroyed in Sydney, Frankie?
Houses are damaged and roof blown off in some houses and everything. In Port of Basketball, houses got destroyed and things like this. It was mighty bad.
How high was the ocean when it came up in Sydney?
It was a really high tides and everything, knocked out power and everything. Veterans home in Glace Bay Hospital lost power and things like this. West Mount on the other side of Sydney Harbor from the boardwalk lost power completely.
What happened to your house? Was there any damage besides losing power?
No damage to my house.
What else can you say
good.
about this? What else can you say about the storm, Frankie? How are you eating food right now?
That means food getting ruined in freezers and fridges. People had to get their generators. The food is getting ruined in fridge and freezers. People throwing food away and things like this because of Fiona was one of the worst storms in history in my area.
What are you doing to eat food, Frankie?
I was at New Moon Restaurant yesterday and today I had supper there. Chinese food.
Nice. Have your Chinese food ready.
What's the best kind of Chinese food, Frankie?
I like chicken balls and rice.
Chicken balls and rice? Oh, classic, bud.
Yeah. Chicken balls,
That's
rice,
good.
egg roll, and sugai.
You had your cell phone charged. You had your Chinese food ready. You had your Pepsis put aside. You were ready for the storm.
Frankie's always prepared. We know this.
His
Frankie's
bandwidth
the
is
reason
low.
anyone's ever prepared.
His bandwidth is low, so I don't know if he's with us right now. We may lose Frankie for a bit. He's out in the street of Sydney, Nova Scotia, where they've just had a hurricane. I mean, top that. I've just been out fighting forest fires. Still not quite as cool as a hurricane. There's Frankie. He's back.
Well, the added
That's
bonus
what
of a
the
hurricane, the
hurricane
thing that
photo
makes
was
it
mighty
way more
bad
fun than a
damage.
forest fire is the possibility of a shark being thrown through a living room window.
That
Would
means
be
it was so
cool.
bad.
Joey, do you think trees can feel pain?
They
A
better.
lot of trees are down, crippled the power line, snapped the telephone pole in half on the corner of Victoria Road and Broadway in Wendy Pier area. It was so bad. Everyone who was talking about Sydney, Nova Scotia, CNN, Al Jazeera, BBC, NHK in Japan, every news station in the world was talking about Sydney, Nova Scotia.
Can you see any damage from where you're standing? Anything that's damaged? Is there anything you can show us?
Yes, and I just posted on Facebook.
Well, I mean, like from right where you're standing, is there anything you can show us that looks like the storm happened?
Yes, and did you hear about that? And I'm sending you the pictures to Messenger.
Like
Okay,
I see
Frankie.
behind you, that there's no leaves in the trees, for example.
No power.
There's no
lights on
power behind you. That's for some places that have their own
That means you've got the photos on Messenger.
For example, yeah, there's no street lights. There's
Okay.
some industrial looking place behind that has power inside.
Yeah, Frankie, if you turn your camera around, like what's in front of you? If you turn your camera around, what would we see?
That's what we're trying to get. We want to see what it looks like right now in Sydney.
In Sydney, did you hear about that? Great Canadian Dollar Store got no power.
Not a dollar store. Damn it. Where
And
will people get cheap Tupperware and candles?
And the
A&W
Great Canadian
has
Dollar
power,
Store still
though.
got no power.
Suffering.
Cleveland still got no power. Burns Dentistry got no power. Grill, Hut, Smitty's, Easy Financial, IG Management got no power either. So is the Easy Financial Services, and Fleet Physiotherapy got no power either. Same with PetSmart, any other store. Great Canadian Dollar Store, they have no power. So is Dooley's in Sydney, Nova Scotia got no power. And the old Triangle in Sydney, Nova Scotia got no power either.
You know, I think it's
A&W
actually
has power, though.
I think it's actually comforting that Smitty's does not have power. Somehow that makes me feel better about the whole situation.
It's nice to see that A&W has power. So
Yes,
that people can get
A&W
their
has
team
power.
burgers.
And they sell grandpa burgers at the A&W, things like this. Total solar eclipse is taking place on Monday, April 8th, 2024 in Sydney, Nova Scotia. You'll be arriving in Sydney, Nova Scotia on Friday, April 5th.
We'll be coming. I hope the power's back on by then.
Well, we're
That's
going to be
2 years
turning the
late.
lights off for the eclipse anyway, so doesn't matter. Ha ha
Well,
ha.
that's true. I hope the power goes out so that it's dark or something.
Yeah, it'll just add more
The
ceremony to the
moon
whole eclipse
crosses over the
thing.
sun on Monday, April 8th, 2024. The moon crosses over the sun. You're coming down to Sydney. Brandon's coming down to Sydney. Imogen's coming down to Sydney. Compound Media, Gary and Dino, they're all coming down. Jason Marshall, Roger the Wild Child, Trey Campbell, Bass Guy, all these people.
Okay, do they know they're coming down, or are you just ordering them to?
Yes, and Donna Mantis, Julie Egger, and things like this.
Damn it, Frankie, that was multiple choice.
We all want to come. We all want to be there for the eclipse. I think it's a great idea.
I will be there for the eclipse 2024. Yeah.
Monday,
You
April
will?
8th, 2024. Pete, you're
Stay
coming
at
down
the
to Sydney
Holiday
on-
Inn.
Yes.
Because of Frankie alone, Sydney, Nova Scotia is going to have a pretty substantial bump in tourism on one day.
Yeah, they should honestly, the Board of Tourism should pay Frankie.
Oh my God, yeah.
Who else is coming to Sydney, Nova Scotia? Gary and Dino.
I'm
Seen
coming.
those guys in a
Harry and
while.
Dino.
So, Frankie, what shows have you been on recently? Like, we haven't talked for a month. What kind of what podcasts have you been on?
Compound Media related podcast, Bass Guy Show, and I was on another podcast called The Ghetto Basement, Owen Gonzalo. Owen Gonzalo and the Ghetto Basement Games coming down to Sydney on Monday, April 8th, 2024. They're arriving in Sydney on Friday, April 5th for Total Solar Eclipse. Angie TV's coming down for that too.
How long do you think it'll be till there's power on in Sydney, Nova Scotia?
That means that they're gradually restoring. They're taking their time, and they had to deploy army. They got army in Sydney, Nova Scotia right now. They got military cleaned up, more military trucks on the way to Sydney because of that.
Oh my God!
Why? What are they doing?
Hurricane Fiona clearing trees and things like this.
Oh, I thought that's what loggers are for. Why is the
You got
military
military
clearing
trucks.
trees?
No,
There's
What
no
am I
loggers left in Nova
misunderstanding?
Scotia. There's no logging left in Nova Scotia.
Okay, so there won't be any loggers. How about, just a guy with a chainsaw? I mean, I'm sure there's a bunch of dads there.
Hey,
How many
come on!
dads
This is a hurricane.
I know, but if you're clearing
got
trees
Nova
off the
Scotia.
road,
Then
then
they
like
got the Nova
dads with
Scotia.
chainsaws are perfectly equipped.
you see the Rick Ross video where he was like, he got quoted at it was like $1,000 per tree or something like that. He's like, nah, I'm talking about like my dude to go to the Home Depot, get the biggest chainsaw they got, and he cut down the trees himself. Like Space vs. Farm Animals is a good TikTok, YouTube clip.
Yeah, real
And I
safe
got-
if you don't have any
and I got-
experience falling trees.
Well,
I got something
yeah,
else
that's
to
how we get
say.
the Darwin
Hey, what is
Awards,
Frankie
man.
trying to say? Let's get
And
back
if
to
you're here
Frankie
about
here.
that, the more army is on his way to Sydney, Nova Scotia, because of Fiona, they got their power trucks from Maine, New Brunswick, Quebec. Then they got power trucks come all the way from Ontario to Nova Scotia. They're help to speed up to restore the power, things like this.
How many hurricanes have you been through, Frankie?
Hurricane Earl, September 4th, 2010. Hurricane Hortense, September 1996. And Hurricane Matthew, Thanksgiving Day, 2016 in Sydney, Nova Scotia. Hurricane Dorian on September the 7th, 2019. Hurricane Gustav in 2002. Hurricane Ivan in September 2004.
That's been a lot of hurricanes, and that used to be like a kind of a rare thing, and now it's just
And
normal.
Hurricane No in November 2007.
And not only is it normal, they're like American-style, powerful hurricanes.
And Hurricane Bill, August 23rd, 2009.
What about the one in 2004, I think it was?
Hurricane Ivan.
Right.
And
It's a lot of hurricanes.
Y'all ever wonder what it would feel like to be in an actual tree? I bet in the summer it would feel real nice, like sunbathed, and then in the winter it'd probably feel like really unpleasant. And then hurricanes and stuff, it'd probably just like, oh, what the hell going on?
On Monday, February 13th, 2017, Sydney, Nova Scotia had a massive blizzard that day. It was a mighty bad blizzard, brought 75 centimeters or so in one storm on Monday, February 13th, and the Tuesday, February 14th, 2017. Snowstorm was so bad, it was a winter hurricane causing blizzard conditions.
A nor'easter?
Yes. It's a bomb cyclone nor'easter. And did you hear about that south of down out west? They're causing a lot of Santa Ana winds in California right now, triggering a lot of fires in California. And did you hear about that? Hurricane Ian just hit Tampa, Florida, did so much damage to Fort Myers.
I have been seeing hurricane after hurricane.
And there's a more typhoons going to develop sometime in October off the coast of Japan. That means bringing lots of thunderstorms and rain to Central America, South America, like Brazil and parts of Colombia and Venezuela and all these places. Northern Chile is really windy and desert and Georgia and sandstorms causing a lot of rain in UK this weekend coming and up around the parts of Europe. It's going to bring lots of showers and rain. And there's a cold front going through South Korea, North Korea, and Russia. This weekend coming, it's going to bring cold air in Vladivostok, Russia, and those places. And Cape Town, South Africa, is going to bring warm air, cold air fighting each other. Then they got a really, really cold air hitting for New Zealand late next week because the weather pattern is going to change there. Possible Invercargill, New Zealand. Winter's not letting up in Invercargill, New Zealand because their summer's in another few months away.
There was a magnitude 4 earthquake in Prince George recently. Where else have there been earthquakes, Frankie?
Mexico had a 7.5 magnitude earthquake, did so much damage in Mexico.
When was the earthquake in Prince George? Was that just like this week or what?
Oh, like 10 days ago or something like that now, I think.
Really?
At about 6 kilometer depth. Magnitude 4. Everyone felt it, but no real big deal.
It's confirmed.
Damn.
Hurricane Fiona is a historic storm that struck Sydney, Nova Scotia. Hurricane Fiona was a historic storm in my area.
You are listening to the Comedeoro-logical Report, Comedy and Meteorology. This is the funniest show about weather that's ever existed. Frankie McDonald on the line right now talking about Hurricane Fiona. I'm Joey Only, your host in Wells, British Columbia. We got Pete Galenko down in Colorado, Imogen Cookie Bailey, who's down in Victoria, and I think Brandon Houck is not totally absorbed with hockey right now. Brandon Houck, are you with us still? Oh, he's giving us the 1 minute finger.
Dear Lord, Brandon just put us on hold. That
he's
ginger monster.
He's producing a hockey game right now, and he's doing it with one finger, so that's with one hand. He cut his finger off with a lawnmower.
We're good. Hello.
Brandon could claim to be an amputee, but he does not.
No, it's the finger's still there.
War Amps Brandon.
Just list.
Brandon is now crippled effectively.
So tell us about Brooks Bandits hockey, and tell us about the weather so far. It looks like it's been pretty warm in Alberta this last month. Talk to us about the whole, like, everything. I seen you dressed as a chicken sitting in the mayor's chair And Brooks there, I mean, you've been having a time, man. And you're getting promotions.
Yeah, so we've had very warm weather this week. We've actually fairly close to breaking records, actually. 30 degrees or above 30. I'm loving it because, this day 3 years ago, we had 20 to 30 centimeters of snow. And I'm glad I'm not dealing with that this year. I'm wearing shorts instead. So Alberta weather, typical. And the weather's actually been pretty good this whole month with the temperatures above average. We've only had one frost so far. So it's been pretty pleasant for the whole month of September. Not much in the way of active weather either. So it's been, as I say, fairly pleasant. Yes, I am doing the chicken thing this month, promoting for Montana's, giving away $100 gift cards for a night out. If anybody can guess where the Doppler chicken is sitting at, as in the mayor's chair today. And the other day it was beside a dinosaur and beside the aqueduct. Or tomorrow, tomorrow we'll be actually in this hockey arena here, or at the hockey arena. So I'm going to be doing the chicken dance in the hockey arena, just so it be awkward. But
they'll be able to guess. If they've seen our show, they'll be able to successfully guess where you are and possibly win a $100 gift certificate for Montana's.
Yeah, if they watch
anywhere else in Sydney, Hanfa Restaurant, Nova Scotia Provincial Building in Sydney, Nova Scotia, and some of those other places got no power still, and Big Ben's. Convenience stores got no power and things like this. Some of those
celebrating out.
got no power too.
Pass for Nathan Free. Check by Roberts. The Thunder.
Brandon, can you? I know you're tight for time here. Can you just tell us about where weather is going in Western Canada for our listeners in Winnipeg? What you see is coming for listeners in British Columbia, Alberta. What do you see coming for weather?
Well, the weather for us in Alberta is not going to be changing too much. We're going to see temperatures probably low 20s well into next week. So if you want a tropical party, Alberta's the place to be. Meanwhile, Manitoba will be on the cold side of the high pressure system. So we'll see temperatures daytime highs in only single digits. And for our friends up in northern Manitoba, okay, off the post. We hit the post. Oh, okay, we're fine.
No, you're fine.
Okay. So Manitoba might see a few flurries next week in northern parts for our friends Joe and Churchill, Manitoba. So Joe will be very happy about that, I must say. He's going to like flurries.
And how about us in British Columbia still?
British Columbia will also be dealing with pretty pleasant weather. Some little unsettled at times, but kind of typical as you go. No big storm, but temperatures at least low to mid teens, low 20s, looking pretty pleasant for next week, especially
I would say unusually warm. And while we have you, before you're distracted and before we move on to Pete and to Imogen, can you just tell us who the pictures are on the wall of Real Country radio station there?
Okay. So, which pictures?
Well, which stars you got?
David James here. Brett Kissel.
Never heard of him. Is that a country star?
Who's these guys? High Valley.
He looks at the referee.
Ethan Rennie, Ryan Lard.
Not sure what happened there.
Clayton Walker.
Thunder offside here on the right.
Brooks Bandits. Oh, I'm on the wall too.
Nice. Nice. That's star power.
Yeah.
Thunder
Gotta have me on the wall.
With 3 points on the year.
Brendan,
second year forward.
Okay.
30 points last
year. If you have anything left to say, Brandon, if anyone has any questions for Brandon, we're gonna have to mute him in a second because the background radio makes conversation with anyone else impossible. But while we have Brandon, who's got a question for him?
Nothing weather related, but the big question is, Brandon, how did you get so damn sexy?
That'd be because I'm on the radio right now, and I tend to get sexier by the time I go on the air. So that's how it works here.
There is the on-air appeal. But beyond that, is it something you worked at, or is it something more you're genetically predisposed towards?
I walk every day.
For Armstrong. Thunder turns the other way.
Your mining of walking is delightful. It's beautiful.
I think that you could probably go 2 years without walking and you still weigh like $120.
Hours before the game.
I actually got weighed the other day on like 58 pounds or something. Yeah.
58 pounds.
Yeah, 120 seemed like an overestimate, man.
Well, really good to have you, Brandon. And when your next period comes on before we're out of here, we'd like to get some last comments from you, of course.
Yeah. By the way, we're up 1-0 so far. So we scored. So we're up 1-0. And I'll probably pop back on here for intermission because that's when I'm going to be actually on the air.
Behind the thunder net, looking at double.
Excellent. Okay, we'll talk to you soon, Brandon. All right, who wants to go next? Pete or Imogen?
Pete, give us an update. What are you doing, bud?
Ding.
What's new with you? Unmute yourself, Pete, you tool. Pete, you marshmallow floating goof. Unmute yourself.
We can't hear you.
I've been making so many comments for the past like 5-10 minutes that have been muted that I wasn't aware of.
Dude, you always leave yourself on mute out of respect for the rest of us.
Well, Joey put me on mute at first, and then I put myself back on mute. And then I don't know. But anyway, I've been driving Lyft. I've taken a few days off. I drove a little bit today, but I've been driving every day for the past like 5 months straight, every day. I've been meeting so many people though. It's really awesome. I really enjoy it.
What's one of the weirdest things you've had in your car? Like, have you ever had like a total chud get in the back of your car?
Oh yeah, total chud. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to call anybody out. You know, I don't mind.
I want you to.
Like everybody that I've driven has paid. I haven't had to give a refund to anybody, so it's just like I don't want to insult anybody that I've driven because they paid money to be driven.
That's fair.
And I've driven like 1,500 people now, so maybe close to 2,000.
So you can't make a veiled reference to something really ridiculous that you saw in your car in a way that maintains privacy. Like you can't say.
Let me think.
I think it's professionalism. I get what Pete's saying. What he's saying is that
there's a fine line.
People, absurd people.
Part of
like off the
part
top
of what
of my
people
mind,
are paying
it's really
for.
hard to pick what's the most absurd. To be honest with y'all.
Part of what people are paying for is to be themselves and get into a vehicle, right? So it's like,
yeah, part of it. And then some people are just tired and want to get to the airport, and some people just want to get home after work or want to get to work, and there's not much drama. And then sometimes it's a little bit more exciting, and there's stuff going on. But I can't think of a specific story right now, to be honest with y'all, of exactly, I don't know, anything that was the most exciting.
I think one of us needs to go down to Boulder, Colorado, and then
come to Boulder, Colorado. Also come to Aurora, Thornton, Westminster, Denver.
We won't tell Pete.
Aurora and Thornton is like little Mexico of the United States. I swear to God.
We won't tell Pete that we're coming, and then we'll order an Uber drive. And then once he comes for an Uber, then we'll rip him off and stiff him so that finally someone will have done it.
No one has stiffed me so far.
It's usually the one getting stiffed.
A lot of digital tips.
I'm going to be the
no one has
first.
stiffed me so far, and I've gotten a few bad reviews, but I don't want to sound ignorant, but those bad reviews often weren't my fault. A lot of those were just that there weren't enough drivers online, or they requested the lift too late, and I just had to complete somebody else's drive first. And then I have missed some bad. I mean, there were sometimes the intersections are much more complicated in Colorado than Virginia, so
complicated intersections.
I've gone the long way more than once, to be honest, but it is what it is.
We haven't killed anybody.
Have you had
Exactly.
someone in your
And I
car?
haven't scratched my car up either. So I haven't scratched my car, I haven't killed anybody, I haven't got in an accident, and I got over 20,000 miles on my car in about 6 months. So that's pretty good.
So I'm gonna come down there and I'm gonna rip you off so that somebody finally will have done so. And it's like I'm gonna come all the way down there. You know that costs a lot of money just to rip you off. So think about
That's
think
dedication,
about
Robin.
the commitment I made.
I'll find a way to rip you off as well, though.
I bet
This
you
is
will,
in
you
my blood.
capitalist.
Yeah.
Have you had someone puke in your car?
I had somebody puke outside of my car.
Okay, so they made it out the
Cleaned it
window
up.
in time.
They made it out the window in time and they cleaned it up. It was a dude a few weeks ago, and it was his bachelor party, and he was coming from a strip club, and he paid me $100 because he puked, and he puked out the window. And it was kind of a depressing drive, to be honest with y'all. He asked
300
for
bucks for
a
watching
few,
a guy
like, he
puke,
asked
man.
for some Slipknot songs, and then he asked for, what is that band called? In the end, it doesn't even matter. Linkin Park. What's it called? But I was like, these are very depressing songs for the day of your wedding, is like what my impression was. I didn't say that to him. But he puked out the window of my car.
Yeah, that's a dude who saw some ugly strippers and doesn't like his wife. That's what you saw. That's a guy who's about to be beaten down by life.
Hey, Joey, I got something to say. Here's the pictures of the Hurricane Fiona damage in Sydney, Nova Scotia. Here's Victoria Road and the pier.
Sweet.
It was
They're
really
really humble people.
Look at a snap telephone pole on the by the Cape.
However,
on the corner of Victoria Road and Broadway. That's another. And here's it again. A tree down. Look at a telephone pole.
How fast does wind have to go to break a telephone pole, Frankie?
Extremely fast.
Does it help if it's shark
That's
infested?
the corner of Victoria Road and Broadway. It's right here. Really, really, really bad.
Wow, look at that wind. There's so much of it.
Look at the telephone pole.
Look at
That was
it.
a telephone pole. Now it's not. Now it's an X telephone pole.
Now
How did that one break?
it's
Just the speed of the wind broke that?
Extreme wind broke that. It was really bad. Snapped the telephone pole in half.
That's got to be like over 160 kilometers per hour. I
Yes.
mean, how fast does it take to break a telephone pole like that?
Extremely fast. It was a historic storm in my hometown of Sydney, Nova Scotia.
Sweet. Well, I mean, I don't think wind alone would do it. It's got to whip something into it. Otherwise, all the poles would be knocked over. So I'm curious what hit it. Like, was it an actual cow? Was it a fat lady? Was it a pickup truck? Was it a bunch of seagulls?
Well, it could be just a isolated gust, right? Just a finger that goes.
It's a area. It was so bad. Extreme widespread power outages in my area. It was mighty bad. Dangerous. It was a destructive winds in my area. Last weekend, Friday night and Saturday, it was destructive winds, causing telephone poles to split like this.
Damn right it was.
Look at the trees down on Victoria Road, close to a corner of Victoria Road Broadway. Look at this.
Those were nice trees, and they're gone now.
They're flipped over.
Nobody was hurt though, right, Frankie?
Look at a telephone pole.
That's a pole, blurry pole. Awesome.
Look
Be
at
nice,
Fisher Street in Sydney.
Damn.
Look at the damage.
Poor town.
Look at the tree down on Fisher Street in Sydney.
My God.
Nobody was hurt, Frankie?
Blurry.
It was really bad.
The storm made everything really blurry.
It did.
That's what it would have been like during the storm. Actually, it would have been very blurry.
Everything would have been blurry.
That's true.
That's after the storm. Look at the damage. Look at this.
Well, God damn! Look at that.
Hey, language.
What?
Wait.
Okay, is that seriously on the no-no list?
Yeah. Come on. CRTC rules.
Look at the damage there.
The D word is the bad word on the CRTC.
What?
I don't know, but we got 1 hour to to not swear? Is it that much to ask for all of our lives? 1
Yes.
hour a week.
What were my last words before we went online? Before we started doing the clean version? What's the last thing I said?
And it was, I'll be really good, Joey. You're beautiful. I think Joey's the coolest.
That must be
If I
it.
were to get married, I would choose you,
I
Joey.
think Joey is the sexiest, coolest, richest man in the entire world, is what you were thinking.
It was
Pretty
a
sure you said
Joey
that.
love fest, much like a typical Friday night when the sailors are in town. A Joey love fest happens.
There's no
What's
sailors
called,
here
though,
in the mountains. I
on
live
the
4,000
seriousness,
feet above
though,
They
the ocean.
travel for you,
You
Joey.
ever
What
seen
sailors?
They make
Nice
the trip
try,
because you're
Berna.
worth it. They make
Sir,
the trip 'cause
Joey,
you're
for
worth
real
it.
though, have you seen the documentary, the pirate radio documentary?
no.
The documentary Pirate Radio is about, like, I didn't watch it fully. I just watched the trailer, but it's about
So you haven't
people
watched it,
that
but you
made
want to talk about it.
Oh yeah, hold up. Wait a second.
I like where this is going.
Like, it's about a, like, they made a unincorporated radio station, and they just, like, built the stuff to put it on the radio without any type of corporate guidance whatsoever. So basically, we could put this, like, if there's some unused FM radio wavelength, we could buy the stuff to broadcast FM radio and broadcast it on an additional FM wavelength if we really wanted to.
Yeah, man.
And wherever
a
we
karaoke
wanted,
machine, a
anywhere
transmitter.
in the world.
Well, it doesn't quite work like that, but in
It
Canada,
does
but
work
also
like that.
Okay, hold on.
You can
Also,
buy that
there's, like-
technology from China. I guarantee you. I know the people
There's-
from China. We can broadcast FM radio in
Yeah, you
any region of the world, however we want. Doesn't matter
know-
the government regulations. As long as there's an electricity power source, we can do it. Like, it
Transmitter and a
doesn't.
karaoke
Have you
like,
seen where I
it
live
might
on the
not be
map,
legal in some countries because some countries have laws about language. But honestly, it doesn't even matter if the laws
No,
exist
it's not
or
just about language. It's
because
about how much bandwidth you're using. But
Hey,
also,
Joey,
in order to
bandwidth.
have,
But I mean,
in order
it's
to-
really
in
about
order
the
to-
electricity for FM radio.
in order to broadcast enough so that anybody in the world could hear it, we would require too much power, and we would be superseding what you are allowed to broadcast at under the Canadian Radio Telecommunications Act.
Allowed to.
Yeah, we're talking pirate radio, Joe. That doesn't count.
Yeah, but every
Transmitter
pirate
Exactly.
radio
and
station,
karaoke
every
machine
pirate
and
radio
roll.
station in
It's
Canada
allowed.
is a micro station in an urban place.
Anything is allowed on pirate
I
radio.
hey,
Yeah,
Joey,
anything
I
goes,
found
man.
You just plug that
Oh,
in.
Nobody would
into
hear
a
it
power
here.
outlet.
Clearly,
I would
you've
have
never
to.
done
I would
pirate
have to have
radio.
I would have to have a lot of electricity to broadcast enough for anyone to actually hear it.
Well, perhaps the funds could be risen. We could perhaps raise the funds. We could start a GoFundMe, and you
Okay,
could get a
first of all,
portion
depends
of the
on power of damn
funds.
transmitter, and depends on your hacking abilities to ping it off where you need it to ping off of. So
It's-
Exactly. Imogen knows her stuff real well.
Imogen has a colorful background.
But I'm already on
Yeah,
a radio
Imogen knows
station.
exactly
We're
what
on
she's talking
CKUW
about.
95.9 FM and CFUR 88.7 FM. That's what we're doing right now. Is we're making a radio
Alright,
show.
Joe doesn't
Hello.
wanna cross
We're making a
the
radio show right
stations that
now.
already carry us. That's
Okay,
And
fair
you're
enough.
asking me to break the law, the radio
I'm not asking you
telecommunications
to.
law on radio.
We're not asking you to. We're
some
telling you it's a
fanciful
very
idea.
easy to do.
I'm just
for
saying
those
that
who
we
are
could break
inclined.
the law.
I'm not
whether
gonna start an
the
FM radio
stations like it or
channel.
not.
Nobody would listen to it here. Nobody
Wait,
lives
you're
here.
not
hardly.
going
People would
to.
listen to it probably. They might even listen to it more just because it was illegal to listen to it.
I'm 80 kilometers from a grocery store, dude.
Naughty radio stations might get a little bit of traffic.
We can barely get the big radio stations from town out here because of the hills.
Yeah, and then when the hours in the
They suck.
meteorological
You're great.
report isn't on, I bet Imogen would have a lot of people that would post.
But I'm on 2 radio stations. That's what we're doing right now. Hello, we're making a
Alright.
radio show. Okay,
Fair
that's what
enough.
we're doing.
Right, what's the call
We
signal
don't
again?
need to make a radio station because we're on 2 of them.
What's the call sign again, Joey? What stations
All
are
right.
we on?
Well,
If you are 88.7
Pirate
FM,
radio
CP,
is a good
95.9
documentary.
FM in Prince George and Winnipeg. All right. I've been fighting forest fires for the last month and some. That's what I do. If you want to see the video version of this show, us and how bizarre we actually are, comedians and meteorologists as we are, you can tune into Joey Only Caribou Weather Dude, my YouTube channel. That's where we put the show up. That's where we're broadcasting live right now for anybody who wants to, who's putting up with it. Thank you for listening to our live stream. And yeah,
Thank you for having nothing else to do right now.
that's sort of my spiel, I think.
Hey,
So I was
Joey,
fighting fires
what's going on in Russia, in Ukraine?
A lot of cabbages being cooked, I imagine.
What about Michael Senikoff?
Michael Stankoff was fine the last time I talked to him. He was just wanting me to register a new tax ID in the United States. And me programmer Antone is doing all right. And I mean, it hasn't ended there yet, though. Hopefully there's an end in sight, but no major news updates that I have, at least. Other people might have, but anyway.
we couldn't make a radio show for like 5 weeks because I was fighting forest fires. Because
Let's hear more detail. I want to hear more details about your forest fire fighting.
Finally, someone. Does anybody have any questions for Joey?
Why did you start so many forest fires?
Yes, tell us
Not
like what is the procedure when you approach a forest fire? Like, what do you do? What do you see a giant forest fire on blaze, and you walk up or drive up or walk up to it, and you see it? Like, what is your reaction? What do you do?
Wow, run away, of course.
Yeah.
Okay, I think the question that a lot of people are wondering is, at what temperature does a raccoon turn into a Roman candle?
There is a certain temperature at which things will start combusting. You know, even raccoons off gas. And actually, I'm known to go towards fire. That's true, but I mean, kind of an open question is like, has anything been done, or is this just straight up a fire happening out of the blue, right? So if it's just one that's out of the blue, I've definitely been like, Prince George Fire Center, this is Brave One. Yeah, we have new ignition. Here's your coordinates. Seems to be near Cheslata Falls. I've been that guy before. Then you're going to have a whole process of assessing what's going on, how big it is, how fast it's moving, what kind of fuel's there, how we're going to set a hose lay in, where's water, you know, areas that are burnt through, how safe are the trees to work under. So there's a lot of things that go on before you even start hosing things, right? So we tend to be very safe here in Canada. And hey, it's just trees. If it's going to burn, if it's, you know, that's sometimes you're going to step back a little bit. There was no stepping back this year. It was all pushing in. So fire behavior was not that aggressive anywhere it went, really. Not extreme, at least, like some of the instances I saw last year.
The fires were more gentle. They were delicate.
Well, yeah.
Outage in my hometown of Sydney. It's the longest power outage ever in my lifetime from Hurricane Fiona.
I think they should have called it Hurricane Frankie.
Frankie's way too gentle for that kind of thing to be named after him.
Has there ever been a hurricane named Frankie?
Typhoon Frankie that hit somewhere in Western Pacific Ocean in 1996.
1996. All right. There should be another one named Frankie.
There was Hurricane Frankie in 2017.
They had Hurricane Frank in the Pacific hurricane season.
Sweet.
Oh no, this is that was a fake website. And when I put Hurricane and Frankie in Google, all I get is videos of Frankie talking about Fiona. So I think we should rename it.
Well, that's just because Frankie is more famous than a lot of hurricanes.
Hurricane Frankie.
Frankie's definitely more likable.
Wait a minute.
That's for sure. Frankie's more likable than any hurricane.
Aaron J. Jack.
What's that, Frankie?
I met
Hurricane Frankie?
Extreme storm chaser Aaron J. Jack in person.
Hurricane Frankie. I vote we change the name. Hurricane Frankie. Hey, Brandon right now is He's talking on the air.
Brandon is very animated.
Hey, listen.
If we listen quiet to Brandon on mute,
Okay.
we'll hear the sound of
Shh.
So what a goal from Elliot Dutil at 5:40 in the first period. They're making it 1-0 Bandits. As the period went along, the Bandits would yet again get another goal.
Isn't he adorable?
We don't want to be heard on his station.
Does he have us on mute?
No.
No. Brandon, are we muted?
Here we go. Brendan Maher's first goal of the season at 16:43, making it 2-0 Bandits after one period of play. Coming up next, we've got second period action right here. Bandits Hockey, Real Country 105.7.
Solutions knows with the high price of it's important to minimize risk.
Are we allowed to broadcast another radio station?
We're allowed to do whatever we want.
Oh, yeah, says the guy who just defended CRTC and gave us all hell for saying pirate radio is awesome and how easy it is to do. Mr. Let's all follow the damn rules.
I wasn't just giving trouble. I was saying it's a redundant conversation to be having on a radio station about starting our own radio station when we're being broadcast. Thank you to the radio stations who are broadcasting us. We're very thankful. It's very
Even
kind of you to
Brandon,
broadcast
I
us.
found it though. Even Brandon, we're talking about Hurricane Fiona.
Hurricane Frankie, you mean? Because we're renaming it.
Why would you want to name it after Frankie? Name something good after him.
Because he's more powerful than a hurricane.
No, he'll rock you like a hurricane. Very different things. You know this.
It's close enough.
Damn it, Joey.
Okay, enough with the swearing.
I forgot that considered a swear word.
I
Well,
got
come
something
on.
to say. All Russian radio stations cut off and tune in radio. That means all Russian radio stations now not available because of the conflict.
So zero chance of us being on Russian radio. Yes. So if you do want to know a little bit about
How do we access Russian radio in the United States? There has to be a way.
Yeah, there does.
I'm
We don't
sure
wanna
there's
know.
some place on the internet we can go to access Russian radio. There has to be.
I don't want to know Russian radio. I
I'm
don't
sure
wanna
there's
hear it.
ways Russians could access the United States radio. They just have to use Tor or VPN, and they could. That's pretty 1980s of them, honestly.
I don't speak Russian. That's the thing.
A lot of
So it
80s
wouldn't
tech
give
is
me
still
really any
solid.
good to hear Russian radio. So yeah, you were asking my fire season. We went up to Burns Lake and dealt with a lightning caused fire there, which was 16 hectares. I think that one was.
How
We
big
hit
is a
that one up.
hectare?
We hit that one up. It's 4 acres. We hit that
Okay.
one up with the help of some Northern Initial Fire Attack crew and also the Telquah Rangers unit crew. That was really amazing. I got videos about that on my YouTube. Then we came back from that. We're put on standby for a little while, responded to lightning caused fire by 150 Mile House, put that out. Then we had a very action exciting one outside Williams Lake, about 100 kilometers, well, maybe 75 kilometers west of Williams Lake. And that was exciting. We had the air tractors put a whole show on for us there. When we got there, nothing had been done. It was rank 4 action going on, rank 3, 4 already in the morning. So that was probably the most exciting one. And when we finally wrapped that fire up, then we went up to Mackenzie, British Columbia, and stomped another one out there. And we were planning to be sent to Battleship Mountain Fire after that, but then a big rainstorm came through the piece and through the Rocky Mountains in that area, and it basically wiped out the logging roads that go into the Battleship Mountain Fire, and the 75 millimeters of rain or something like that came down in there or more. Pretty much put that fire under control in a sense, at least, put fire behavior down to a point where it stopped being a big issue. So a late fire season for our crew. But lots of good times, lots of fun. It's definitely a withdrawal for me to come out of fire season. It's being a crew boss. I have a lot of usefulness every minute of the day. I'm uh, doing something that matters for the most part, and the camaraderie of being with the crew, pretty fun stuff. So if you do get a chance to go Joey Only Caribbean Weather Dude YouTube and see some of the fire videos I'm putting up of our crew, you might get some laughs. That was some good times. So that's been my last 5 weeks or so. Sorry, there's been no radio show, but it's impossible for me to make a radio show and be a crew boss. Even if I could guarantee that I'd be out of the bush in time, and we were putting 14-hour days in on the Burns Lake fire, for example, just impossible for me to function, eat food, and try to make a radio show, and it wasn't going to happen. So thanks everyone for
forensic fire. Does that mean somebody died in a fire?
I guess so. That'd be a structural term. So
damn, that's
or-
pretty heavy.
or fire forensics might be just the cause of fire, and the burn pattern maybe is what you mean. So the forensics of the fire, what was the behavior of the fire?
Yeah,
Where
that's
did it
the
start?
finer points of what made it happen, how it behaved. Yeah, fire behavior from start to finish. That's what
the one
forensics would refer to.
the one we had a lightning strike that literally split the tree, and you could visibly see that's where the fire started and crawled out of.
That is so cool.
Yeah, it was kind of neat. All the burning chunks that kind of fly up and go, and the fire just kind of keeps leapfrogging when it gets going like that. So definitely had some action at points. So thank you to everybody at CKUW and CFUR for who puts a radio show on. Thank you for keeping us on and being patient, because the school year starts and you have reruns. It kind of sucks on our behalf to have our show not represented right away off the top of the school year. But I was doing things that mattered, and yeah.
Starting
And
five.
so was Hurricane Frankie, and Imogen was riding on horses, dressed as Count Chocula.
I was. You know what? We had ridiculously good weather for this time of year. It was milk chocolate days and hot cocoa nights and just nothing but chocolate truffle horse riding. So yeah, I got to ride horses and hike by waterfalls and take Morbo out to climb a mountain. Got to go for a hike in the rain. It was awesome. That's what I've been doing. Flicking marshmallows at people. You're welcome. Might have blown fire a couple times. Did not start a forest fire. No, just, yeah, good weather and my usual pointless antics. So
Just dead silence from everybody on the panel.
how do you respond to that? Like, can anyone relate to that kind of crap? Stop.
Pete-
Sorry.
Pete's away on the phone, and Brandon's
On the radio. You and
consumed
Frankie
with the
don't.
radio.
Yeah, you and Frankie don't have serial monster alter egos. Y'all
And,
don't go
and
out.
Frankie is just smiling and smiling. And see,
You know what? I actually had a kind of wild, awesome weekend where I was doing security at a music festival. So just music festival is always a weird environment. And then when you work like 23-hour days, not all doing security, but doing a couple of different things, but it amounts to being like 20 minutes of sleep across like 4 days. The whole landscape gets insane and surreal. And when you're at a music festival where everything's already insane and surreal, then it's so much fun. And then all of a sudden it's 7 a.m, you're on an empty lot dressed as a cereal monster and you have no idea what happened before, how you got there. And then all of a sudden you're hiking a mountain with a hairless cat. That's not stuff most people can relate to. So yeah.
doesn't seem that unusual to me, but
Well, yeah,
but I understand that it's not usual.
it's not the standard. And
Yeah.
so, okay, so I'm seeing
I mean,
a
you're
new
talking to
girl.
a guy who's got Star Wars toys hanging from his
I know.
ceiling and moose heads behind him.
Now, like, okay, so I'm seeing a new girl and she doesn't know the scope of the insane that is my life. Like, she doesn't know the breadth of the circus. So introducing her to stuff in little tiny bits, because every fucking thing everything I say has to be explained, or it needs the strange words, the weird phrases, references to goofy things. Explanation's always required. So I'm just like really quiet. So I'm very, very quiet around her right now, and she thinks that I don't like her, and it's funny as anything.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, that when I'm trying to talk to normal humans, I realize like I am not a normal human. It's
Yeah.
obvious.
Same Z's. When you say being quiet, I think of the song by Gucci Mane by Being Quiet. And that is not a normal human being song.
You and the Gucci man every time. But it's like it's like having to explain everything because they just have
Every
no.
person that I drive and lift has to see Gucci Mane because I have a Gucci Mane air freshener. So that everybody sitting in the back seat has to look at it.
Brandon Hauk, any last comments from Brooks Bryan? It's before the second period starts. You are on mute, by the way.
So second period has already started, and we just got another goal, so it's 3-0 now. So we're winning. That's what we are doing right now.
As we've seen Wallace do.
Good times in Brooks, Alberta. Thanks for coming on the show, Brandon. It's hard because you have to listen to the radio station. It's hard having you part of the conversation and not be muted because you need to be able to hear your show.
Yeah. Multitasking at its finest.
He needs to be able to hear his show, but we don't need to be able to hear his show, unfortunately.
No, but it's just a little special treat. It's like getting extra marshmallows in your Count Chocula, in your cereal. That's what Brandon brings, extra marshmallows.
Brandon Hauk and Brooks, Alberta, we're very lucky to have him, the weatherman himself, radio man, always a pleasure. Pete Galenko down there in Colorado, driving for Uber. He's used to be from Virginia, but now he's in
Lyft.
You keep saying Uber, but it's not Uber.
I can't tell the difference. I've never used any of these car things.
A lot of people get into my car and be like, "Oh, you're my Uber driver."
Yeah, it's like Netflix.
Yeah, I am.
Netflix is the word for all streaming services. Uber is the word for all, I don't know, rental hose, driving hose, or whatever.
From what I know, that Lyft drivers get paid more than Uber drivers, even though Uber is more popular, is all I know. But I don't know if that's even true or not because I haven't tried Uber.
It's like everyone calls transparent tape Scotch tape, right?
Yeah.
But Scotch tape is a brand. There's only one Scotch tape. So if I said, it's like Uber is kind of like that, right? Like I don't know how many car things I live out in the mountains. I had to hitchhike home from the city the other day because I left my truck at the friggin' lot. So that's Pete Galenko. And we got Imogen Cookie Bailey down in Victoria. Thanks for coming on the show, horse riding, crazy cowgirl you. And Frankie McDonald, Hurricane Frankie himself. It's the man we call the Hurricane, Frankie McDonald.
My Twitter is @FrankieMcD. My Facebook is FrankieDown. My Instagram is FrankieMcD984. My TikTok is FrankieDown984. My Clapper is FrankieDown984. My Twitch is FrankieDown984. My YouTube channel is Dogs Wolves. My LinkedIn is FrankieDown. And my Snapchat is FrankieAMCDON. Earthquake Frankie since 2010.
Frankie's got such a great rhythm to that. Like when Frankie rattles off his link tree, I'm always like, he's got his own rhythm, and I want to see him songified because it's just so relaxing.
Earthquake
I love
Frankie
it.
since June 2010.
So if anyone wants to make a 10-hour video of Frankie just reciting his link tree, that'd be great.
This has been the Comedeoro-logical Report. I've been your host, Joey Only. Hopefully we see you next week. If not, the weather has done something bad. Okay, bye now.
Okay, bye.
All right. Now you can be yourself again.
Son of a bitch!
There you go.
I was holding that in. My God. Motherfucker.
Okay. We still. Yeah. Okay now.
I was keeping a lid on it to the best of my terrible lacking ability. One of the few skills I have is overuse of swear words.
Well, I know, me too. It's just you have to get into character, That's just get into a different character, and then not swearing is easy.
Yeah, I guess.
Because if I'm Joey, everyday Joey, then I'm fucking just who I am, right?
Touche.
Gotta be in character for the show.
When am I not? Look at me. Do you think I'm not just the sum of my pixels?
Okay, well, your character now is a little more discerning about if they're talking.
Yes, Daddy. Anything.
Anything.
And
Like, don't swear anymore on my show.
right.
At least when we're recording for the college radio. I mean, they're fucking these kids. You know, they're not even 18. Some of them.
Hey, go man.
So what you're saying is they still need a babysitter? Is that what you're trying to say?
I think so. Yes, we don't want to be swearing to the. They haven't even realized that Jesus isn't real yet. Can't be swearing anymore. Thanks to all the listeners who've been and all the video
Mexico,
watchers.
Jesus is real.
Looks like Shelly Selinsky, Christine Jensen,
Mexico, Jesus.
Chris Wolf, who else? Jason Banger, TJ Moon.
I'm going to Mexico later this year to La Leche, which means milk in Spanish, and I'm going to get a horchata, which looks like more horchata looks more like cum than natural milk does.
What?
And the Mexicans find it hilarious. So I'm going to get a horchata when I'm at La Leche in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. I've gained a good relationship with the Mexicans here.
You've gained a good relationship with the Mexicans here. That sounds really
not just the
shady.
Mexicans, but the South Americans, Central Americans as well.
Dear Lord.
But I'm going to go to La Leche, which I drove past last time I was in Puerto Vallarta.
The Mexican community.
And I'm going to go there. El Chapo Guzman was abducted from there. That specific restaurant. And I'm going to go back to that specific restaurant, and I'm going to get horchata, which is a spiced like milk type of drink that's non-alcoholic.
It's a drink?
Yeah, it's a milk drink that's non-alcoholic. It has some dairy and sometimes some milk in it, and it's spiced a little bit. And I'm gonna get that there. And
it sounds like you don't know what it is.
I'm planning on doing that in the winter.
Okay, so your winter plans are to get a horchata.
That's great, man.
A horchata at
infiltrate a Mexican community.
Gotta go to
horchata.
Gotta go to Mexico and get a horchata.
Yes, and that drink sort of looks like cum, and people find it hilarious. So I'm gonna get that drink at horchata, and they have a picture of a white girl with cum on her cheeks, or milk on her cheeks, actually.
My God!
And
you have a real serial killer vibe right now.
I'm just saying,
I'm kind of digging it.
Low cocaine, cum on cheeks is like sort of like a set code in some places.
What? What's wrong with you?
I'm not gonna explain.
Yes,
I'm gonna get that drink.
Yes.
Which ones? So I don't ever go there.
I'm gonna go there with my girlfriend. I'm not even gonna do cocaine. I'm just gonna buy that drink. I'm gonna take pictures next to the pictures of the where the place where El Chapo got abducted, and I'm gonna post it on Twitter. That's all I'm gonna do.
That is the worst vacation. Why would you do that to your poor girlfriend? Is this
really?
just a
My
girlfriend
doesn't care, and she likes cocaine as well.
Okay.
I think that she just took his phone away.
Pete getting liquored up there. That was
has plans to go somewhere, infiltrate a Mexican community, get a horchata because a girl has cum on her face, and take his girlfriend to get cocaine. That's what I got from that.
I was gonna say that was really interesting, but actually it was
insane.
Disturbing. Yeah.
It was insane.
Kind of fucked up, actually.
That's the most insane thing we've heard from Pete in a while.
Yeah, well, whatever he's drinking, yeah,
he's gonna go order a big jug of non-alcoholic, maybe dairy semen is what he's gonna do.
Put it on someone's face.
Spicy semen that may have dairy in it.
I don't.
Someone spoonged on a coffee creamer
Some guy was abducted there.
and whipped a chili pepper into it.
For what? What was he abducted for? What could you do that's gets you abducted in a place like that?
All right, so here's Pete's vacation plans. Infiltrate a Mexican community, go to an induction site and get a jug of horchata because it has the texture of semen, it's spicy, and it may or may not have dairy. And then what was the other part?
I don't know,
his
but
girlfriend wants cocaine, so he's going to get some cocaine for her, which he would never do.
what I do know is that Mexico and America are very different than Wells, British Columbia. I'm certain of
I live
that.
in a retirement city. It's also a port city, which means that we are a hub of all sorts of shady stuff. But by day, it's a tourist city. So.
Oh, I know, it's so gross. Flowers are all perfect.
Oh yeah, it's gardens and restaurants and
Homeless
bike
all
lanes
thrown in
everywhere. It's
jail.
horrible. But you know what? Tomorrow I'm going to be doing I'm going to be shooting a fight tournament. So I'm going to go watch like a whole bunch of dudes kick the crap out of each other. So I'm going to be shooting a boxing tournament. So I'm pretty stoked about that. It's going to be a lot of fun.
If I was in Victoria, I'd kick the crap out of just random people all the time.
Excellent. You would fit in with some of the downtown community.
I'd be like, God, I can't handle your face.
Fuck your garden bed.
People.
Screw those flowers. Your gardener sucks. And then you go infiltrate a Mexican community and get
you and your fucking perfect city. Perfect
looking. There's so
yuppie
much ugliness in this city. I've been here 1,000 years. I'm aware of the grossness of this place. Like for tourists, it's beautiful. Yeah, it's very picturesque. There's a long pile of fucking beaches. It's beach after beach. We're on the coast. That's what you get. There's rainforest here, there, and everywhere. There's hiking places. Yes, it looks like a damn postcard. But we also have a lot of ugly stuff here. Like our sewage treatment is disgusting. All the water is contaminated. I've sent like in any weather update I've sent like where I'm at a beach, I'm always highlighting the grossness of the water. There is like the one I sent from Thetis Lake, there is like literally 8 feet away from where I was, there was a sign that said, warning, algae bloom, toxic. Like there's safety warnings to not let your pets drink the water because they'll die.
I remember your Thetis Lake video.
Yeah, the outtake where the cat actually broke my bikini. I was wearing that crystal bikini and the cat kicked it. So in the one I sent in, I'm actually holding it on because Morbo had a tantrum and kicked my bikini in half. So
it was my favorite video, yep.
Morbo was a good boy, and I just wish he could have actually been in the damn video I sent in, but no, he spazzed. Yeah.
Yeah, cats and water, that's totally predictable.
You know what? He's good with water. I take him kayaking. I take him out in a damn kayak on pirate adventures. We go and infiltrate beaches that we're not supposed to be on. And, he enjoys his bath time. He gets into his own bubble bath.
Does he find the gold?
The what?
The gold pirate cat. He's got the nose.
He does.
Yeah, you gotta
find all sorts of treasure.
You gotta train him to find gold.
He's more interested in the dead fish and the gross things that wash up on the shore. We were out on a beach last summer and an eagle, like I keep Morbo on a leash at all times when he's out, just for his own safety. He's leashed. Unless we're in the boat, then he's not wearing a leash because again, safety, it's, but he's wearing a life jacket. So I can always just like pick him up by his little handle if I need to. But we're out on a beach and an eagle came swooping down and like we could all feel like the wind from its wings. Like it got close enough that we could actually feel the wind from it, which is kind of cool because Morbo looks like a snack.
Well, that's cool. If you should make it a longer leash, then you can kind of go fishing for eagles,
That would be kind of neat.
It's like, I got one. It's got Morbo. You pull that eagle in.
I will happily fight an eagle.
Pluck a couple feathers, be like, thank you.
Just like punch it. You know what? Of the strange roadkill, I saw my first eagle roadkill a while ago. Like it's roadkill season around here. And I actually like driving to work the other day. I'm like, all right, there's 2 squirrels, a rabbit, there's a deer. Son of a bitch, that's an eagle. There's an actual eagle, like had gotten smoked by a truck or something. So it's on the side of the road.
Man, it should have been getting all its feathers.
Well, I didn't want to go like poke at it. I was already late for work.
I would. Feathers.
Yeah,
man.
you would.
I don't have an eagle's claw in my house. That's one thing I don't have.
Why not?
Next time an eagle's hit by a car, please send me the claws.
Send parts
I
of
have-
its feet. Go harvest
got-
the body for
I have
treasure.
feathers. You can have one hand, I'll have the other.
All right, then we'll fight. That'll be great. We'll have a little eagle claw fight. We'll paint the
when you go
little
to-
nails on it, and then we'll
When
like,
you go to dim sum and you get the chicken feet, and then you put them in your sleeve, and you're like, your friend both has them, and you're like, and you like pretend that you're the chicken feet or your
yeah, pull the little, you yank on the tendons, stretch it out, and then you yank the tendons. So it, yeah,
you pretend that the chicken feet are your hands, and they're like,
hell yeah.
man, that's so yummy.
I used to go visit a farm in the summer when I was a kid, and when it came time to slaughter the chickens, we'd play with the feet. We'd always cut off the feet, and we'd like chase each other around with like the chicken feet, and then like paint the nails, and then whip them into the
How terrible!
bush
You're
for
supposed to cut
coyotes.
off their heads and
The
watch,
heads
then watch
work
them run
too.
around. Not cut off their feet and make them flop around.
Well, the heads are always the first to go, and
You're
then you watch
doing
them
it
run.
wrong.
Well, yeah. So we cut the heads off, then we chase them. Then we chase the scampering chickens through the bush, and like there was a lot of Saskatoons. There's Saskatoon bushes. Some of the Saskatoons got really big, but we didn't have fruit that would be the right size to be like little pumpkin heads on the headless chickens. But I was the weird kid who was like, can we get like little tiny pumpkins to put on the body so when they run, like, can we swap it out fast enough? The guy swinging the axe is like, you kids are just wrong. No, we're not doing that. Go away. Stop playing with the fucking heads. Yeah, it was weird. But I'm like, okay, well, how about a really big Saskatoon berry? If we get a big enough Saskatoon berry, can we perch it on the neck? Draw like a smiley face on it and perch it on the neck. So when it runs, it's got like its little head wobbling around. Didn't work. I wasn't allowed.
It took Meowie
I meowie.
45 minutes to figure out that the woodshed door was open.
What?
Well, because he was at the window asking to come in, but I was like, I'm making radio. You got to figure out that the woodshed door is open. He's like, oh, I got it. He's been coming with me for coffee in the morning at Norma's shop. So he like actually sits on a chair in the coffee shop. And
Awesome.
everyone thinks it's quite cute. Yeah, it is cute. That's the reason why. So I think we're done recording the show, and there's just 3 of us left on here, and Brandon's basically working. I think I'm ready to I'm ready to shut the thing down for this week. Thanks for coming on, Imogen. Brandon, thanks for everyone out there in YouTube world. I need a miracle in my life to get things kind of back on track. So a miracle, like people starting to actually watch my pretty cool YouTube videos I'm making, would be just moral victory.
A lot of that.
So I'm hoping you can subscribe and share and hit like and come back and see us again and again and again. Because we're going to be awesome every week.
Are we?
Tip off a stick.
Is that something you really want to make? Is that a promise you really want to make, that we're going to be awesome every week?
I'm going to be awesome every week.
We're on the PK tonight.
Fair enough.
You're going to be obnoxious every week.
That's right.
Brooks.
Brandon's going to be correct about the weather.
Over to his left.
That's
I'm
right.
going to have my pipe every week.
Okay,
I don't know
then.
how attentive I'll be or how on point with anything I'll be.
He'll be behind the net for.
That's what I'll be doing.
I guess I'll say goodbye. And I'm going to go get a snack 'cause I'm starving.
You can
Guys.
say goodbye. I'll say go to hell.
Okay. Fuck off now.
I really should change that. I really should put that as a tagline on my website. I'm not saying goodbye. I'm saying go to hell.
You should come to hell.
All
All right. That's the show this week. See you next time, everyone.
Oh God, what have we done?